Starting episode 6, we're going to go ahead and get these BBK Shorty headers 1515 wrapped with the header wrap here. Picked this up on Amazon. It came with a 50-foot roll and 10 of the metal ties here for like 17 bucks. So here's a few tools that I'll be using today. And we're going to get this bad boy wrapped and installed. Another pointer is if you look on the left side and the right side, one will actually have the webbing. So for example, you see right there, that's the sewn edge. You want to make sure this is the direction that is going towards the heads or towards the header that you're bolting up against, so it sits nicely and flat. All right, so as you see, you're just going to kind of go down just like this, and I'm trying to see if I can get this this on footage and go ahead and do high speed. And you kind of see me, tackle it within a few seconds here. But then go ahead and do your zip tie on each runner. And then what you ultimately want to do is find a stopping point. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to start here, wrapping this header, then come back around. Stop here, stop that, or start this one, and then all the way down to the collector here. So that's the goal. So let's see what happens. All right, just grab some needle nose pliers right here, and I don't have the actual tool, and all you do is just turn, and all that's going to do is lock down this metal tie here on the header. See how it just got tighter, tighter, and tighter. So this is an easy method if you don't have the tool. All right, guys, I think that come out pretty good. Wasn't able to get a lot of the footage here of me actually doing it, but these shorty headers were pretty difficult on getting them wrapped just because of how much space that there was in between each pipe and not allowing overlap. So from what I need here, when I get this braced up against the heads, where my plug wires and everything else run across here, it's going to be perfect for what I need. And ultimately, it's going to keep the engine temperature down. All right, yes. Looks great. Love how it turned out. Looks absolutely stunning. Changes the whole aspect of the motor too. So next, as you already see, I got the measurements here where I'm going to put the wastegate in on the 90 flange. I've already started it here, but I was using a bimetal hole saw and I need a carbide, so I got that on the way. So as soon as that comes in, I'll get that knocked out, welded up. And so we'll have the wastegates installed. I'll go ahead and do the down pipe the down tube of the wastegate. We'll go ahead and route the exhaust, get all that wrapped up, get the turbos and everything lubed. And I think by then, guys, we can get this turnkey. All right, so I went ahead and went with this 1 3/4 inch piece. The diameter of this is 1.75. Got it from the local auto parts store. We're going to go ahead and get this all tacked up and welded up. I have this on a vise just to keep the wastegate from getting scratched. And I have the clamp on here for integrity because the heat penetration of the weld, you don't want to warp the V-band clamp. So let's get to it. The wastegate V-band tube is now officially complete, and it's going to sit right there like that on that 90. And I went ahead and chose this route versus here. That way I can still have maneuverability and be able to turn my turbo if I want it up or down, and I'll still have availability for the downpipe to aim at the ground. Over here on this side, I went ahead and mocked up my wastegate on the V-band clamp down tube that we just went ahead and got fabricated, and it's going to essentially, guys, go just like that. So we're gonna get this hole drilled. I'm gonna go ahead and pull everything apart. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the turbo. I'll go ahead and take off the 90. We'll leave the headers, and I'll go over bench side, and we'll get this all tacked in and welded up. All right, the carbide bit is in. Extremely happy on that. This thing is a bad boy. So let's get to work. Also note, you want to add oil intermittently just to keep the temperature down here on this drilling. I will say that I absolutely love this carbide bit, guys. It really went through here like butter. And like I mentioned before, just make sure you intermittently add some oil on the teeth and the circumference of the hole there, just to keep the temperature down. So let's go ahead and get this all disassembled, and we're going to take it over to the bench, clean it up, and I'm going to go ahead and tack on this Wastegate V-band flange coupling tube. So we got the passenger one done here, so let's go ahead and take off the turbo. We're going to go ahead and take the 90 off the header. We'll leave the headers on the actual motor. Then we're going to run it over there to the bench. We're going to clean it up, get all the shavings off, and clean it up so we can get ready to get these wastegates welded. All right, so I just used the flap disc here to kind of go ahead and make a divot here into the pipe, so it kind of sits flush like that. So what I got here is I went ahead and put the 90 in the vise, and when you just set it right on top like that, that's perfect. So the hole is going to be 1.5 inches ID on the 90, which makes it perfect because the pipe is actually at 1.75. So let's go ahead and get this all tacked up. All right, success, they are on. And look at that, guys, that is pretty much spot on. Huge success today. The clearance is perfect, and it's perfectly in line with this exhaust flow. Boom, boom, and boom. Let's go ahead and get on the wastegates here. All right, they are fully attached, and I am very excited today. This exhibits a huge milestone for Baloo. So we're almost turnkey ready. Next, what we'll be doing is testing the oil lines to make sure we have adequate flow. We'll also test the drain to make sure they are draining properly. And then we're going to get the turbos here lubed up. And then we should be ready for turnkey, fellas. Look at that. Huge milestone. Mirror image. Looks great. I just moved the fuel pressure regulator over here to the firewall. As you guys know, it was sitting over here on the fender well, but it was too close to the header. That's definitely something that could be catastrophic down the road. My boost reference fuel pressure regulator will be coming in. It'll go ahead and sit here, but this is just for turnkey. Everything is still routed the same with the fuel return, inline fuel filter. I will be changing everything later to steel braided and fittings. So this will all be coming out later, but it's just for turnkey now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add probably a tablespoon of oil through the oil pressure feed side here. And what I wanna be doing is here on the back side, I will be spinning this compressor as the little bit of the oil comes through, because we wanna get those bearings all lubed up. And then I'm gonna go ahead and install the high pressure lines on each one. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do turnkey. That way we can start, turning over the motor without spark and getting this oil pumped through. And ultimately, if it comes out the drain here, which is right down there at the oil pan, then we're good to go. We're gonna fire her up. All right, guys, we primed it here. So we got the oil coming out. We'll go ahead and do it a couple more times. So that means we got good flow. So. All right, so the turbo housings are completely tightened up. Went ahead and remade sure all the end fittings are all tight. Went ahead and made sure all the spark plug wires are in firing order and put new spark plug wraps on those. And went ahead and made sure everything is tight on the wastegates. And fuel is out of the way. And right now we're about to go ahead and do our first turnkey, which we've been waiting for months for this to take place. So here we go. All right, guys. She is up and running turnkey. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, well that's a wrap of episode 6. I'm glad you guys got to make it all the way through, because this was the perfect debut here at the very ending of episode 6, because we finally got Baloo turnkey. As you know, if you follow along, it's been a few months now to get all these episodes done, with time and money and everything all involved. So thanks for sticking around. Please continue to stick around, because in the next few episodes we're going to go from turnkey now to drivability and get it back roadworthy. So I'm not sure what yet the episodes entail on what I'm going to be doing, but I will tell you that I still have the hot side to run, the cold side. I still have the fuel pressure regulator, the boost reference wind installed with the AND lines, blow-off valve. I still have my gauges and everything to install to make sure that this is fully functional, it's tuned, and it's roadworthy. So stick around, because we've got a lot of awesome content coming. And just like always, guys, your support is everything to my channel. So continue to make those comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't care. It helps me with what you guys like to see in my content. And even if it's thumbs down, it still helps the algorithm. So just help support my channel. I appreciate it. Pass everything along. And just like always, guys, until next time, God bless.